I abhor the supreme folly of those who blame the disciples of nature in defiance of those masters who were themselves her pupils. If the painter wishes to see beauties that charm him, it lies in his power to create them, and if he wishes to see monstrosities that are frightful, ridiculous, or truly pitiable, he is Lord and God thereof. As a well-spent day gives joy in sleep, so a well-spent life brings joy in dying. Like a kingdom divided, which rushes to its doom, the mind that engages in subjects of too great variety becomes confused and weakened. The water you touch in a river is the last of that which has passed, and the first of that which is coming. Thus it is with time present. Life, if well spent, is long. If there's no love, what then? In time and with water, everything changes. When once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward, for there you have been, and there you will always long to return. The men of experiment are like the ant, they only collect and use. But the bee gathers its materials from the flowers of the garden and of the field, but transforms and digests it by a power of its own. The supreme misfortune is when theory outstrips performance. Just as a well-filled day brings blessed sleep, so a well-employed life brings a blessed death. It is an acknowledged fact that we perceive errors in the work of others more readily than in our own. The eye sees a thing more clearly in dreams than the imagination awake. The organ of perception acts more readily than judgment. The human bird shall take his first flight, filling the words with amazement, all writings with his fame, and bringing eternal glory to those whose nest whence he sprang. A wave is never found alone, but is mingled with the other waves. He who can copy can do. Experience does not err, only your judgments err by expecting from her what is not in her power. What is fair in men passes away, but not so in art. What is fair in men passes away, but not so in art. A well-spent day brings happy sleep. We must doubt the certainty of everything which passes through the senses, but how much more ought we to doubt things contrary to the senses, such as the existence of God in the soul. Those who, in debate, appeal to their qualifications, argue from memory, not from understanding. He who truly knows has no occasion to shout. Wisdom is the daughter of experience. He who does not punish evil, commands it to be done. He is a poor pupil who does not go beyond his master. The worst evil which can befall the artist is that his work should appear good in his own eyes. Man has much power of discourse which for the most part is vain and false. Animals have but little, but it is useful and true, and a small truth is better than a great lie. If you find from your own experience that something is a fact and it contradicts what some authority has written down, then you must abandon the authority and base your reasoning on your own findings. Men of lofty genius when they are doing the least work are most active. The painter will produce pictures of little merit if he takes the works of others as his standard. Truly man is the king of beasts, for his brutality exceeds them. We live by the death of others. We are burial places. As every divided kingdom falls, so every mind divided between many studies confounds and saps itself. Details make perfection, and perfection is not a detail. Anyone who conducts an argument by appealing to authority is not using his intelligence, he is just using his memory. Many have made a trade of delusions and false miracles, deceiving the stupid multitudes. Truth at last cannot be hidden. Dissimulation is of no avail. Dissimulation is to no purpose before so great a judge. Falsehood puts on a mask. Nothing is hidden under the sun. The acquisition of knowledge is always of use to the intellect, because it may thus drive out useless things and retain the good. For nothing can be loved or hated unless it is first known. Marriage is like putting your hand into a bag of snakes in the hope of pulling out an eel. The mind that engages in subjects of too great variety becomes confused and weakened. I awoke only to find that the rest of the world was still asleep. Art is the queen of all sciences, communicating knowledge to all the generations of the world. Why does the eye see more clearly when asleep than the imagination when awake? In rivers, the water that you touch is the last of what has passed and the first of that which comes, so with present time. Learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never regrets. He who loves practice without theory is like the sailor who boards ship without a rudder and compass and never knows where he may cast. He who does not oppose evil, commands it to be done. My body will not be a tomb for other creatures. He who possesses most must be most afraid of loss. Learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. Once you have tasted the taste of sky, you will forever look up. Obstacles cannot crush me. Every obstacle yields to stern resolve. Blinding ignorance does mislead us. Oh, wretched mortals, open your eyes. He who thinks little errs much. A poet knows he has achieved perfection not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. All sciences are vain and full of errors that are not born of experience, the mother of all knowledge. He who wishes to be rich within a day, will be hanged within a year. Our life is made by the death of others. God sells us all things at the price of labor. Make your work to be in keeping with your purpose. Water is the driving force in nature. All our knowledge has its origin in our perceptions. I have offended God and mankind because my work didn't reach the quality it should have. Realize that everything connects to everything else. Intellectual passion drives out sensuality. Time stays long enough for those who use it. Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art. The time will come when men such as I will look upon the murder of animals as they now look on the murder of men. Iron rusts from disuse, stagnant water loses its purity, and in cold weather becomes frozen, even so does inaction sap the vigors of the mind. Life without love is no life at all. The artist sees what others only catch a glimpse of. I thought I was learning to live, I was only learning to die. As you cannot do what you want what you can do. It is easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Principles for the development of a complete mind. Study the science of art. Study the art of science. Develop your senses, especially learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. The function of muscle is to pull and not to push, except in the case of the genitals and the tongue. The deeper the feeling, the greater the pain. There are three classes of people: those who see when they are shown, those who do not see. Painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt, and poetry is painting that is felt rather than seen. A painter should begin every canvas with a wash of black, because all things in nature are dark except where exposed by the light. Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing that it takes in. The painter has the universe in his mind and hands. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. One can have no smaller or greater mastery than mastery of oneself. Nothing can be loved or hated unless it is first understood. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death. Art is never finished, only abandoned.